Our involvement in the Gulf is not transitory. It predated Saddam Hussein's aggression and will survive it. Long after all our troops come home, there will be a lasting role for the United States in assisting the nations of the Persian Gulf.
There are those that would like to lift the sanctions. I am not among them.
Our main objective is lifting the sanctions, which has been very, very cruel on our people.
Why do you think Americans want to keep the sanctions?
That's their policy.
Why do you think?
Let's ask them. That's their policy. It's against the will of the international community. It's against the will of many other countries. I think they are making profits from that. But I don't want to make accusations.
Financial profits?
Yes.
Like how?
Who is selling oil instead of Iraq? Iraq had a share in the oil market. That share was stopped by the sanctions. Who is selling that?
Who?
They know very well that Saudi Arabia jumped from 5 million barrels a day to 8 million barrels a day. 3 million barrels, Iraq's share, have been added to the share of Saudi Arabia.
And we would take this to a war front to protect Saudi Arabia's making more money?
No, you are sharing that money. Everybody knows that.
Before the sanctions, Iraq used its $20 billion in annual oil exports to import 70% of the country's food and medicine. The cutting off of Iraq's oil by the Security Council has caused widespread hunger.
Starvation of civilians as a method of warfare is prohibited by international law. The sanctions are a violation of the Geneva Convention, the United Nations Charter, the Constitution of the World Health Organization, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Charter of Economic Rights and Duties of the States.
It's not France, it's not Russia, it's the United States which is imposing these sanctions, which are killing their children by the hundreds of thousands. And we believe that the right policy for the United States government is to stop the sanctions, and that the people of this country who are having our tax dollars used to impose hunger and starvation are not really being spoken for in this current crisis.
But the UN has backed these sanctions.
Well, the United Nations for the last 6 or 7 years has become virtually a plaything for U.S. policy, and that's because of U.S. dominance in the aftermath of the collapse of the Soviet Union. That doesn't mean that the people of the Middle East or the people of the world really support U.S. policy.
Today's march that we're beginning now is a procession to commemorate the more than 500,000 children in Iraq who have died from the sanctions policy, a policy that's so linked. The growing hunger here in the U.S. is reflected 1,000 times in the starvation of more than 1 million people who died in Iraq.
I think it's very important that each one of you came out here today and to keep in touch with us and to raise your voice, to show your faith, to stand and walk with the Iraqi people. We are thousands of miles away from them. But when I was in Iraq, I felt so desperately. I wanted to call the United States, and I wanted to say, sisters and brothers, organize a demonstration now. Get together, even if it's 25 people, even if it's 10 of us. Show that we are here in the United States, that they have friends here who do not believe in the extermination of the Iraqi people, that they have friends here who say...
The International Action Center has launched a major medical aid campaign to deliver medical supplies to the people of Iraq. Essential medicines and supplies can save the lives of many, many people. We are asking everyone who sees this video to join in making the Medicine for Iraq campaign a success.